Okay, y'all. Greetings, divine ones. Okay, I got a new microphone. We're about to see if this works. Okay, hopefully you can hear me. But I am coming through with a reading. We're gonna do it outside today. It's a beautiful sunny day. Get some of that vitamin C. Mm. Mm. Now it's kind of drizzly. So I do want to say that whoever I'm talking to in this collective. Mm, I've said it to whatever I do in this video, whatever comes, we're in the reading. So whatever happens, it's a part of it. You understand? So even me suddenly becoming thirsty as soon as I turn the video on, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're doing all of the things you need to do to make sure you stay hydrated. This is coconut water. This is some of my favorite. This is not a brand deal. No ambassadorship. This is real stuff right here. Now, if there's anything going on with this brand, please let me know because, Lord, it's too much going on. But one thing about it is we do have to go with our spirit on things too because there are souls that will take advantage of what's going on. They'll take advantage so much so that it will cause them to manipulate people's perspectives, right? Manipulate perceptions, things like that. And it's like, no, because you trust your discernment, you know, no, that don't feel right. Something don't feel right about that. I need more information. And before you decide on, how you would operate. All right. So, anyways, gotta be a little more careful out here, just because I don't want the wind to blow the cards down below. So we're gonna do them a little differently. So yeah, look at that. So the clearing, there's a clearing that is happening, and so out of it, there's a clearing that's happening, and it's happening with or without your help. Okay, and divine justice is happening. Okay, divine justice. So if you've been concerned about anything that, oh, Grace, Spirit, give me the words, give me the clarity to speak to this collective. Divine justice is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. My grandma should be like, "I love you," and ain't nothing you can do about it. And I want you to know that's the divine speaking to you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And so, right now, you're going through a clearing, and it's funny because Valentine's Day is coming up, and then we got hearts all over the page or whatever. And we know there's other stuff that comes with Valentine's Day, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the love because when you really look at a lot of these days, you start to look at, hmm, there's an alchemy going on that's happening. And on the dark side of things, you could say, oh, they're probably doing this so you could cover up something. And it's like, no, when you know the truth of it, then you can appreciate the alchemization of it because you can't change what happened, but you also don't want to carry the energy of what happened. You understand? Because that brings more of that. So you want to alchemize it. How do you do that? And that's a part of clearing. When you start to clear, you start to get guided to the pathways of transforming the things in your life from one form to another. And you want to transform it to a higher form. You want it to be something that serves the whole, serves you, and the people that are a part of your collective, you know. And for those who I'm talking to, we're sharing a collective dream, and we're just messengers to each other along the way. And whoever I'm talking to, you do music in some form. You're a creator. Is telling you to get to the music, baby. Get to it. Don't forget the music that's in your heart. Okay. Um, I don't know these cars. I'm not feeling these no more. It's time for another deck. Yeah. All right. See what we're gonna come up with. Pull it out the bag. Mm, we got the dragon, baby. Got the dragons. Turn dragon. Nah, but okay. Mm. So, like, sometimes, you know, that emptiness you feel inside is not for you to be so quick to feel it, you know. Sometimes it may manifest as boredom or manifest as stagnation or something, not enough going on, right? But when you really look at it, you really be the observer, you start to see that no, you're just clear. And when you're clear, you've moved into a phase where now you can receive things in a way of clarity and not in a distorted fashion. It's really clear when it comes to you at this time. So I want you to honor this time because where you are is very unique because most people rush to fill the space with something, right? They rush to fill it with um, whatever addiction is had or um, you feel like you should put something there. So you think it's your intuition talking to you, but it's not. It's really what's happening is that you're being asked to sit with yourself and to only let the things in that nourish you. And the things that don't nourish you, because you're so clear, yes, those things can be there, right? They can try to tempt you to pull them back into your cipher, right? But because of your clarity, because you're tuned in and aligned with the clearness that you feel, you aren't even allowing yourself to shift from that space. It's almost like it's very important that you stay in that space. And so when the dust settles, after all the dust settles, you're able to see. I'm seeing this for you, you know. Oh my God. What is going on? Somebody does not know how to drive. Okay. Whew. Lord. Okay. Let the Lord take the wheel. Okay, let your higher self take the wheel. Okay, that's what let your alignment take the wheel, baby. Because when we try to take over and we try to take control and try to drive, we be fucking shit up sometimes, y'all. We got to just let the divine drive, you know. I forgot I had these cards in my hand. I was just getting pictures, just going, going, going. Yeah, discipline. It brings you, this is the black dragon from Saturn. Saturn focuses on discipline, you know. It says concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision, congratulate yourself. You have passed the test. That's why you're experiencing this clarity, this clearness, because you have gone through some things. You have been disciplined. You've been doing something different that you haven't been doing, even if it doesn't seem like you've been doing it as consistently as other people say that they do things. It's like, you really start to see that, yeah, somebody might do something consistently, but their heart is not in it every time. But every time you do something, your heart is in it. And that's the difference. And so you got to know, it's like, oh, you know what? When I come to this altar, when I come to prayer, when I come to this space of humility with the divine, listen, let me tell you, baby, I am more than, fulfilled. Oh, look at the butterfly. Oh, beautiful. Transition, change. You are more than capable of of doing things in a different way. You move in a different way because what? The divine has you. The divine takes care of you. And it's like, ah, you know, the divine has you on this path where no matter what you try to do, when you try to take over, it does something different. But hey, yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. That's what you do. You act like you want to pet them and they run away. So, um, baby, you are about to shoot up, okay? You're on a mission, and your mission has been marked. There is nothing. See, this is the magenta dragon. This actually brings you closer to your soul wisdom, okay? It awakens your soul memories and your higher spiritual understanding. So prepare for accelerated ascension. Listen, oh, baby. It's saying that's why you got to stay clear. Keep this clarity because the ascension is happening and you got to be light for the ascension to happen. Don't be so quick to rush and try to fill it with a relationship, fill it with some food, fill it with, intoxicants, fill it with, party, or fill it with events or people or spaces. Just learn to feel it, learn to fill the space with, let the space be filled with the unseen energy that serves you. It's like, and we call it divine energy, right? Many people call it different things. I ain't here to argue language today, okay? I'm feeling very calm. The calmness that I feel is because there's something coming your way. And remember on the last video, I think I'm still speaking to the same collective, to be frank. I think I'm like, if you haven't seen my last video, I think this is a continuation. It says bring soul families and communities together. Spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. So when I just said mission, we talked about when we talk about mission, right? This is a part of that. You're bridging families and your soul tribe together. And the last video I mentioned about, you're going to be meeting your soul tribe in this month, this year, starting this month. But this year, you're going to be meeting your soul tribe. And it there's this thing is you'll know because you're not going to have to keep explaining yourself. Oh my God. When you feel like you got to keep explaining who you are, it gets old. Because if you have to keep explaining, that means that your perceptions are different. Now, they could just not be ready to be in your vicinity, right? And it's okay. It's nothing like it doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't make them anything. It just means that they're not able to see things from the perceptions that you see things from because they haven't reached that level of soul wisdom, that heart to heart soul wisdom that comes with where you are. And so, where you're experiencing this clarity at is something that many people don't have reference for. They don't know what that is. They don't know what that feels. They don't call it, oh, I'm bored. It's like, no, you're not bored. You're ripe for creativity. You know how much you can do from here, from this abundant space? Like you're so you're such in a place where you could create anything from this space right here. Do you know, like this is the space where inventions happen. This is the space where, new thoughts, where manifestos happen. This is that space. And I feel real strongly about that. So it's like, let it happen. Be in this now, you know? Look, this dark blue galactic dragon, it helps you listen to the voice of the universe. Ignite the codes of your master blueprint. Access cosmic wisdom and enter higher service. Keyword, higher service. You know the difference between, there are people that are out here, they just want money. That's not you. You don't just want money. You want money so that you can be in higher service. And you really, it's not the money you want. Whatever the value, whatever allows you to be in higher service, that's what you want. And that intention alone is what has gotten you this far. Your ancestors, your spirit team knows your heart. And when people try to tell you different and try to give you these false ideas about yourself, it's because they're thirsty to identify, to find someone to place what they placed in their own identity, to place it on another. They're looking for reference. That's why people. Okay, so yeah, it was the phone was definitely overheating. Which is why, because with the thirst happening and the overheating, somebody, you need to make sure that you stay hydrated. Don't let your, because once you're overheated, or somebody's around you, that make sure they're hydrated, that they stay hydrated, or you keep hydration around you, whether you have an animal. Matter of fact, because the animal came up, yes, make sure, you know, if you are in any kind of, um, this could be reaching anywhere, if you're in any kind of warmer climate, like I'm in a warm climate, it's very important that even if you got your dogs outside, that you make sure they stay hydrated. And I know this is cool. I know most places is cold in this time of year. A lot of places are cold, but and even if you're inside the house, and when you have the heat on, the air gets really dry. It gets really dry, and so because of that, you do have to make sure that you stay hydrated and that you keep your air clear. Put some plants in your house, air purifier. I actually need to check my filter. I'm gonna change my filter, but that's a message to somebody. And yeah, that's pretty much today. That's kind of. I'm gonna keep drinking water. I'm gonna make sure I stay hydrated because the sun is shining, shining, shining. Yeah. Okay, but anyways, purification, self-discipline will speed ascension and bring joy. You can carry Archangel Gabriel's diamond. Okay, so here's this thing where I just like to let things come and be how they are because the messages come very clear. And sometimes we try to fill it with some extra stuff, fill that space, and it just doesn't work. So let yourself feel the lightness. Be be in that. Don't try to dramatize it, fill it with drama. Because people do that, you know. They be like, man, it's so funny. Like, when you start to be the observer, you start to realize, like, it'd be so many moments where you're like, um, I was, I was bored. So I got into something. Be like, I should have never got into it. Because if I would have never did that, then this wouldn't have happened. And then you just start thinking about the suffering you put on yourself. And you be like, I ain't have to do that. But it's okay. It's a living, learning. It's like, oh, we try to rush and feel it. It's like, just like relationships, right? You know, you might get a reading that tells you, oh, you're going to meet the love of your life in 2 weeks, right? So you get to hyper focusing on every person that comes along your path that you feel some type of drawing or connection or attraction to. And you're like, oh, is that them? Is that them? And you're just hyper focusing. And it's like, baby, you don't have to do that. You will know when you know. Like, you'll know it. It'll just be like, there's something that you know. You may not even know what you know, but there's a knowing. And when you don't trust yourself, you start to replace the feeling of emptiness with things that you may be familiar with. And that's where you get the familiar spirits. You're replacing it with things you're familiar with, right? But it's because to you that's safe. The unknown is unfamiliar, so your psyche might register it as unsafe. So you do everything to avoid the accountability of walking into that newer space. You don't look for the opportunities to shift. You don't open your eyes. You don't take the opportunity. You kind of try to hold on to things that you no longer need to hold on to. And it just becomes a matter of you're playing cat and mouse with your own spirit, with yourself. And so there's a calling for you, a reminder for you to just be in the now, stay hydrated, right? Um, Stay nourished, but be in the now because they tell you when you're dealing with a lot of energy, high energy, you have to stay hydrated. Like if you ever gotten a Reiki clearing session, they might tell you drink water. If they know what they're talking, they'll tell you to drink some water. You know, um, and you got so much conflicting things out here where it's doctors saying that you shouldn't drink water, whatever. If there is something that I ain't got that, I'm not aligned with that information yet. It hasn't spoken to my soul in that way, you know. However, fruit, you do get a lot of hydration from fruit, but it also comes with other things. So this is not a video where I'm giving you advice on what to eat, you know. Um, Things can affect you differently. So I say whatever your soul calls you to, listen to your cravings in this moment. And the interesting thing, you'll find that you might not want the things that you normally want. You might by habit look for certain things and then see that you want things that's better for you. And taking self out of it, you start to see a bigger picture. There's more than what you're seeing right now. There's a bigger picture. There's an unknown. that somehow you're connected to, but you just don't know it yet. But if you continue to align yourself and stay clear and stop trying to rush and fill it with a relationship, right? It's like, oh, if you're not with anyone right now and you feel that your soulmate is on the horizon, right? They're near. Let it reveal itself to you. Don't be so quick to rush and fill the space, because that's where you're going to get traumatized. You're going to take on things that you didn't have to take on. That's going to be hard to recover from. So, uh, in this moment, be aware your higher soul is guiding you. You're on the right path. I'm going to let you go. For some reason, I just feel so extra, extra grounded. Like right now, it's like whoever I'm talking to, it's just like you're actually in a unique place where you can operate from ground zero. You can do great things from here. Mm. Man, I just feel more calm than normal. Like there's this dog earlier that came up to me. He never comes up to me ever. And she said he doesn't come up to people. And she came up to my friend, before then, but she still didn't come like all up on him. But me, oh man, she came like all the way over here. And I was like, wow. And my thing is, I didn't break out. I'm normally allergic to dogs. That dog was a long haired dog. Nothing happened. And I'm like, I'm experiencing a healing that I didn't know that I experienced. And while I did a hypnotherapy session to help me not be allergic, I still was a little allergic. I still would have some kind of reaction. No reaction. None. So I say that to say that the reason, like the fact that it came up right now, remember I said that everything that happens during the session, it all matters in the reading. And that coming up tells me that there's something there in that story for you. And somebody is, you're attracting the energies that will help keep your nervous system calm. I'm just feeling like this inner peace, this inner joy, that if you're not now experiencing it, you're going to be experiencing it very soon. And it's just, I just, I want you to embrace it and be in it, like sit in it. Because it's like we're so quick to, like, we get some shade, right? Spirit will guide us. Our spirits will guide us to a place where there's shade in the midst of sunlight everywhere. And we get this moment of shade, but we got to keep moving. We could stop there, cool down. Our body's going to help us cool down. That's why we sweat, right? But nothing like being in that shade to reset real quick. And then when you get that intuition to move forward, that nudge, okay, I'm going to keep going. And you move, then you realize you're back in the heat again. You in the line of fire, right? You have to depend on your body to cool it for you. That means that Your body needs to be working properly now, because now you don't have the additional tools and the shade of the trees or the buildings to protect you. You now have to depend on what your God given, divine, creative being vessel carries. So that means what you nourish yourself with and the things like that, then that's going to matter in these moments where you don't have the covering as much as you did when you was in that shade. So your body needs to compensate, right? But what happens when you get to the next point of shade, but then you're afraid that the shade is going to run out. So instead of being disappointed, you back up and you get back in the sun, or you rush through it to try to get to the destination quickly. You say, bump the shade, let me just knock it on out and get there. And then you missed all the moments of covering, all the resets, all the protection. You miss those moments. So when you miss those moments, it takes away your energy. It depletes you. And so you get to your destination, i.e. your manifestation. Let me bring it back. When you are on this journey and you get to your creation, the thing that you created from your divine alignment, you finally get here. Now you're too tired to appreciate it. You're too tired to even see it. And you self-sabotage. And you continue to self-sabotage. Why? And it's really not a sabotage, it's just a delay, but you are sabotaging the moment for a minute, until you ain't. And when you do it enough times as the observer, you start to see the pattern. And that's where I'm saying you're actually in a unique place where you can see your patterns. The clarity helps you to see the patterns. And it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game because you see things so different. But you know that now you want to appreciate those moments of shade. You want to enjoy the process. You want to sit in the shade and hydrate. Take the time because, baby, when your life is about to look different, you're gonna be like, damn, I wish I would have took that time to relax. I wish I would have not been constantly thinking about the destination.